Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video we have some awesome news for the Kenobi series. We're also going to be taking a look at LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga and more. So no more jibber jabber, let's get straight into it. Starting with Obi-Wan Kenobi, Star Wars Newsnet have revealed that the iconic bounty hunter Filoni is going to make an appearance in the show. This was rather eyebrow-raising. The best friend of Zuckuss, this droid bounty hunter first debuted on screen in The Empire Strikes Back, but he's also featured in the comics, notably in War of the Bounty Hunters, where he and Zuckuss had their own spin-off comic. Now I will say guys that we don't know what context Filoni is going to appear, but if bounty hunters are involved in the Kenobi series, we might see other familiar faces too. We know that in the comics, Black Krrsantan had an unpleasant run-in with Kenobi, and Obi-Wan is the one who gave him that scar, and given that the Wookiee recently made an appearance in the Book of Boba Fett, they already have the costume and design, so I would not be surprised if we see him as well, and at this point in the timeline, he is employed by Jabba the Hutt. Now when it comes to Filoni, given that most of his canon appearances take place after the Kenobi show, no matter what happens, he will survive. Now at this time, 10 years after the rise of the Empire, Filoni is already working with his counterpart Zuckuss, so I wouldn't be surprised if he features as well. All we know from these two around this point in the timeline is a mission they went on to capture the small-time criminal, Barriss Ford. They ended up doing so and kept him imprisoned aboard their ship, hoping to use the reward for his capture to pay for tractor beam repairs. But soon after, a matter of weeks after, the pair took up a bounty placed on Han Solo, and they confronted him at the Valtos spaceport. Now given the recent Kenobi leaks that have focused on the role of the Inquisitors and Vader's two fights with Obi-Wan, character news of a bounty hunter is a surprise to be sure but a welcome one. I will admit it was not a character I expected to show up in this series, but I'm more than happy with it. Now if you remember, before the Book of Boba Fett dropped, there were similar rumours that we'd see other Empire Strikes Back bounty hunters in the show, but that never happened. We did get Krrsantan and Cad Bane, but they're not original trilogy bounty hunters. And perhaps the situation is that the leakers mistook some Boba leaks for Obi-Wan Kenobi ones. After all, confusion between projects is very common these days, especially for these two shows that did have some overlap in production. So we're just 2 months away from the series dropping and anticipation is certainly rising. A lot of folks are cautiously optimistic, a phrase I see all the time when it comes to the Kenobi series, and I get it, I really do, but I can't help but feel like a little kid again, waiting for the return of Darth Vader and fricking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I'm truly allowing myself to feel really excited about this one. I don't have too many expectations, but just seeing Ewan McGregor again as Obi-Wan is enough to make me feel over the moon. So share your thoughts on Filoni appearing in the comments down below. And so now my dear friends, let's discuss LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. The game is just 13 days away, and those who got early access are sharing their thoughts and reviews, and it's been overwhelmingly positive. But there are a few notable details that have come out that are really worth speaking about, so let's dive into them. We begin with the fact that the list of over 300 playable characters has been revealed. An Instagram user called 1414 Falcon Fan leaked the full list of playable characters. This roster includes all of the characters who will appear in the base game, so this is not counting the DLC packs or pre-order exclusives. These are the base characters that appear in the game as it comes. The list has been divided into 10 categories, spanning from Jedi to protocol droids. I'm not going to go through all of them, but it is worth noting that TT Games state each one comes with their own special abilities and gameplay style, so attention to detail for individual characters has been considered rigidly. Now I spoke about my excitement for characters like Yaddle, but some other standout characters, especially ones that made me laugh, are Ben Swolo. That is the topless Kylo Ren from The Last Jedi that has become a meme, while he is actually his own playable character. They also included some really obscure ones, like Mama the Hutt, Yariel Poof, the Wookiee called Grakchawa, Lama Su, and a whole range of protocol and astromech droids from across the saga. Seriously guys, this is the game where background characters are truly going to stand out. And LEGO also revealed the 10 versions of Anakin/Vader that you can play as in the game. You've got Slave Annie from The Phantom Menace, how cute, I'm sure nothing will go wrong in his future. Then we have Pod Racer Annie, Escape from Naboo Annie, and then he gets all majestic in his Attack of the Clones look on Coruscant. Seriously, this is my favourite. In the Battle of Geonosis version, in the background we see a Geonosian Picador riding a Mongwurst. Then we get the beginning of Revenge of the Sith Anakin, followed by edgy emo Anakin just chilling out on Mustafar, but you've got to call him Lord Vader or he's gonna have a hissy fit. And then we come to the I hate you burnt bacon Darth Vader after Kenobi twatted him when he got the high ground, and then we get original trilogy Vader on Bespin, and then redeemed Anakin in Return of the Jedi on the second Death Star. So those are the 10 looks that you can expect in the game, and I must say, all joking aside, the attention to detail is insane and this game looks incredible. I don't know what else to tell you, I've seen a lot of gameplay of this, but in the comments below, let me know which character you're going to be playing as first and which Star Wars episode are you going to begin with. And so finally, my dear friends, just a quick little tidbit for The Mandalorian Season 3. As we learned recently, Christopher Lloyd, Doc Brown himself, is going to be in the 3rd season, and now Pedro Pascal has come out and said that he would love Nicolas Cage to be in the show. It's always been a weird thing when it comes to A-listers in Star Wars, and generally the fandom is not on board. The exceptions are Samuel L. Jackson, and in the original trilogy, Alec Guinness at the time was truly at the top of his game. Now, as much as I love Nicolas Cage, I must say for me, he is too much of an A-lister for The Mandalorian. Unless he's an alien behind a mask or something like that, it's just going to be too distracting. But don't worry, this is not a casting confirmation or anything like that. In a recent interview with IMDb, Pedro Pascal stated, "I think Nicolas Cage would be a great Mandalorian. I think that he's so physical, that he cuts such a great silhouette, he would figure out very artistic ways to execute the role." Now, the two actors feature together in the upcoming comedy, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and that experience for Pedro Pascal has led him to put forward this sort of casting pitch in favour of Nicolas Cage. Now, even if he was a Mandalorian, I can't imagine them casting such an A-list actor just to be behind a helmet. And as I say, for me at least, if we do see his face, it's going to be very distracting. Just to reiterate, this is not confirmation of anything, just merely something that Pedro said. Now, the reason I'm fine with Christopher Lloyd playing in The Mandalorian is because his role in the Back to the Future trilogy was kind of intertwined pop culture wise with what was going on with Star Wars in the 80s. It was Star Wars Only in a recent video who said that the nostalgia and pop culture relevance attached to Back to the Future and Christopher Lloyd is in some ways connected to Star Wars, a sci-fi comedy that released 2 years after Return of the Jedi, even though has no relation to Star Wars whatsoever, still appealed to the same audience who were Star Wars fans at the time. And I think in that way, for many Star Wars fans, Christopher Lloyd appearing is no big deal. In fact, it smells to me like something that Jon Favreau put forward in order to relive that nostalgia. I can just imagine it being something he would do, and I think for that reason, fans are going to be pleased. But as I said earlier, this doesn't work for many other A-list celebrities, and for me, certainly not Nick Cage. But let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below, and everything else we spoke about in today's video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and a huge welcome if you are. And if you want more videos not found here on YouTube while also getting access to our Discord server, then click the link down below. But until the next one, my dear friends, may the Force be with you always. I'm Star Wars Meg, have a good one.